Jan, I absolutely love the idea of this recipe, the smell of this recipe, the look of this recipe.
Well, this is one of those like really classic things that it's so hard to mess up. But this is balsamic chicken. And we start off like you do with so many super easy, fabulous dishes. We're going to brown off the chicken. Now, this was boneless and skinless, so we had to give it a little bit of help. We used a little bit of olive oil. And let it get nice and brown on both sides. And
don't worry about cooking it through. Just get it nice and brown.
That's right. We'll finish it up later, but you do want the color. And then into the same pot, I dropped a couple of sliced onions.
Which are already starting to brown off.
That's right.
Getting some caramelization to give a little sweet to this.
That's right. And now if you're going to do this at home, you want to let this go a little bit longer. You want more color than we've got here. But we're going to hurry.
Well, we could come back at the first commercial on Young and the Restless. I guess that wouldn't be a good idea.
Well, probably not. All right. Now, we were talking about the difference in different kinds of balsamic vinegar.
You have to find one you like.
Find one that you like.
Because there's an enormous difference from one to another.
And you can't necessarily go by price.
No. Oh, no.
There are really fine, high-end specialty vinegars that, you know, this is not one of those. So when you're shopping in your grocery store...
And for this dish, you don't really need...
No, it would be wasteful.
Super high-end.
Right.
The one I was telling you about that I have at home that I put on strawberries with an eyedropper.
That's right. Well, you don't want to do that for this dish. But taste the ones that taste it first.
Find the one you like and then stick with it.
That's right, because we're going to reduce this a little bit, and that flavor is going to get more concentrated. So if you don't like it to begin with, you're really going to hate it at the end.
Now, the concentration I found with balsamic vinegar actually increases the sense of sweetness in the vinegar.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I love vinegars. They're one of my go-to favorite ingredients.
Absolutely.
I just love what they do. All right, so a can of tomatoes. And I like the little ones. I like the petite diced tomatoes. I think that they're just nicer. All right?
Whatever.
They are. They're nicer.
Okay.
And the kids,
I've been known to use them.
Well, honestly, when you have the larger ones, the kids will look at it and they'll freak out and they say, "What is that? And it's a tomato." And But if you've got this, you don't get the freak out.
This is one if your kids didn't eat it, they'd be weird.
They would. My kids are weird. That's just the way it is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I didn't mean to have your kids in mind when I said that.
I did.
Okay.
All right, so a teaspoon each of thyme and rosemary, oregano, and basil. All right?
And there is no wonder it smells good in here.
That's right.
With that combination, it could not smell good.
That's right. So we're putting these guys back in here.
Work them down in there a little.
Yep, get them down in there. And if you've got the juices that collected, don't waste that. That's like liquid gold.
Now, about how long does it need to cook? Because we're about how long to be gone?
Well, I give it about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes?
And then I serve it over pasta. But this is what we end up with.
Or rice or almost anything. Well, I can get the recipe. Chef's Recipe, 6450 Paper Mill Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919, sending a self-addressed